Oscar keeps tweeting these things like...
I was gonna say, Oscar just recently tweeted that they moved on. The Canelo train has moved on from the Triple G rematch, that now they're looking at Danny Jacobs. Well, I mean, Danny Jacobs did have a close fight with Triple G, but Triple G does have the victory. I mean, it's a reputable opponent for sure, but I mean, like, it's not Triple G, it's not the guy.
Everybody loves Daniel Jacobs. Is that not just a heart-tugging story? He is a baddie, and I met him in Vegas, and I told you my
Tell us that story. Let's tell us that story real quick, because I love that story. Tell us that story real quick.
Speed it up. I'll try to...
Because it's a great story.
So at the last Canelo, or the first, and possibly the only, oh, sad. I'm going to cry right now. I'm going to cry right now.
Tear.
It's a little tear right there. So we got my parents tickets to see Triple G and Canelo, first fight, Vegas. My ticket was back at the hotel, so after I walked them over there, I had to walk back to the hotel, get my ticket. As I'm coming back by myself in a shorter, tighter dress, it's a Vegas dress with higher heels, I fall down in the middle of the street. I wasn't drinking. Before anybody starts talking smack, you will be blocked. And what's funnier is everyone around me kept walking by, like, oh, poor thing, just looking at me. So I'm trying to get up.
You were just a Vegas victim
like
at that point.
But the sun hasn't even gone down yet. I'm trying to, like, get to the fights. My parents are inside, and I had to go get my media ticket back at MGM. I'm walking back across the street by myself. I fall, and somebody gently grabs my elbow and is like, are you okay? Let's go. I got you. And so I was so embarrassed. I kept my head down. Didn't ever look at who did that. I just knew it was a man. Then we get across the street, and the gentleman that rescued me from the middle of the street, embarrassingly, he asked me, are you okay? Are you going to the fight? I said, yes, I love boxing. He asked me, this gentleman, at this point, who I didn't know who it was, said, who's your favorite boxer? And I was like, Triple G. Come on. Blah, blah, blah. And then this person said, you know, I beat Triple G. And then it didn't take me, I was just like, who's able ever to say that? He's Triple G. Hashtag all the belts. So I thought it was funny. I thought this person was making a joke, and I'm like trying to brush myself off. And I looked up and I was like, do you even know boxing? And then I look up and it's Daniel Jacobs. And yeah, he kind of knows a little bit about boxing.
A little bit. That's the best story.
He's kind of a gentleman, a little bit, and I have nothing but good things to say about Danny Jacobs, and his story is inspiring. And never was he arrogant or cocky. It was just more like amused. And then I was embarrassed, and I apologized because, like you said, he did give Triple G a good fight.
He really did. So he did give Triple G a good fight. I mean, some people did see him winning. I mean, obviously he feels that he won, but Triple G does have the victory. So, I mean, if Canelo fights Daniel Jacobs, does that prove anything to you as a boxing fan? That, I mean, obviously he's beat one of the top guys in the middleweight division, if he were to beat Daniel Jacobs, but it's not the guy who beat the guy. You know what I mean?
No, I'm with you. I wouldn't support that fight because I feel it's a cop-out. I feel it is a filler fight. And we've already had a filler fight. And God bless Tom Loeffler and, you know, what he had to do in the last few weeks trying to put a show together for HBO. Like, I just don't. Yeah, it's like, I don't understand how boxing even gets away with that stuff. That's the kind of stuff that turns my daughter and her cousins to MMA. Because for better or worse, Dana White runs a tight ship. And you have too many boxers, maybe with too much power. And the more popular you are, you get to get away with more. And it's not what boxing fans are. My dad was super bummed that Triple G Canelo 2 did not happen. So I don't know. Like, if you don't give us that fight, I don't know, maybe, I mean, after that decision with the last fight where Triple G should have been given that, I wanted to step away from boxing. It took me a few months to even care anymore.
I was going to say, it's good to hear the desire back in your voice, because I remember talking to you then, and you were very...
I was like, I'm done.
You were very like, it's over. That's it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like, I'm done,
so
you know.
My last question on this subject. So my last question on this subject. You mentioned your dad's a big Canelo fan. So I'm
boxing fan.
Or big boxing fan, right? But he does like Canelo. You've told me that before.
Oh yeah.
So I guess being so close to a Canelo fan like that. And like you said, you yourself are a boxing fan. You're a Canelo fan. You don't dislike Canelo. You just happen to like Triple G.
We were raised Oscar de la Hoya fans.
Right.
My dad would sit us down as little girls and make us watch Oscar in the Olympics. And my dad he grew up on the same street as Oscar, McDonald in East LA. My dad's a Bulldog as well. So we had no choice but to cheer for Oscar. So if Oscar supports Canelo, we technically had no choice. However, when watching them, I really do feel like Triple G has more heart. He is the warrior in this equation, where sometimes I feel like Canelo just he cares maybe more about being famous than winning, and winning fairly, which we've already now proven, but boxing has proven that he's willing to cheat. So, and Triple G's older, and we need this fight. It's the same way that Kershaw needs his ring. Well, the Dodgers,
yeah, I know.
like Mike Trout is being wasted on the Angels. Like, we could go on and on. Triple G's not gonna get that fight. He deserves it. He deserves it.
And so that's my last question on it. Is, do you feel like, as a boxing fan, your dad's is a Canelo fan? Do you feel that Canelo fans and just boxing fans in general will be okay if he decides, you know what, I am going to take a Danny Jacobs, which is a very respectable fight. I mean, Danny Jacobs is maybe number 3 in the division. He's not the number 1 guy like Triple G, but he is right there. That's what I'm saying. Like, so, like, do you feel like that's good enough, or do you feel that boxing fans will always be like, you didn't fight the guy?
Well, I cannot speak for all boxing fans, but I can speak for those within my circle. And we all know which fight should happen. I'm not going to support a boxer just for the sake of his last name is Canelo. It doesn't work that way, because throughout the ages, that is what Mexicans are. We work hard. There's pride, there's honor, and that's why they say Triple G fights like a Mexican. You're willing to take those blows. You're willing to train in high altitude. Leave, San Diego once in a while. Stop talking to your model girlfriends. I don't know. Like, I'm not judging, except for the fact that it's such a huge disappointment if this fight doesn't happen. And my dad is not, look how we're raised, to be open-minded. Of course, we would love Canelo to be the superstar that Golden Boy promotes him as. And I get crap from Mexican boxing fans who just want me to support him simply for the fact that he's Mexican. That's not how it works. You have to have heart, and you have to be willing to put in that hard work, that ethic. And unfortunately, Triple G and Canelo, again, I don't hate Canelo. I wish him well. But when they fight each other, I'm a Triple G girl. And I resent the fact that promoters are given so much power in a sport to not. Do you think that the owner of the Dodgers would be able to say, oh no, we don't want to play the Cubs. We're going to go play someone that we know we could beat. It doesn't work.
The Detroit Tigers.
So now, we'll just play the Padres every weekend. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. So it's unfair that boxing gets to do that. We're slaves. We're beholden. Slaves is not a proper. We are beholden to promoters and their whims, and it's not cool. And if you keep this up, you will keep losing fight fans, because let's be realistic on who carries boxing. Latinos, we still pay for the pay-per-views, so get it right. Give us the fights we want. I mean, again, they say that on radio all the time. Michael Thompson, Sugar Ray Leonard, I heard them say, to be the best, you have to fight the best. Boom, bum. There's no way around it. So stop. Give us the fight we want.
There it is.
Poor Triple G. He deserves that fight, man.
Alysha, it was great talking to you as always. Tell the fans where they can follow you now. You're on ABC4, The Peacock. Tell them about it.
NBC4.
NBC4.
I left that other station. It's okay. It's the end of the night. Alysha Del Valle, at Alysha Del Valle on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. But Instagram, I'm a little more active because my last station destroyed me on Twitter and Facebook, and so I'm starting over. But we won't talk about that because the mouse is evil.
Thank you so much. Maybe. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it as always. Of course. Love you. Love you.
Triple G!